of an exchange of fire between Israeli and Egyptian soldiers. Meanwhile, Gazan authorities say the death toll from an Israeli airstrike on a camp for displaced Palestinians in Rafah has risen to 45, adding that 249 people were wounded in the attack. Witnesses say at least 8 missiles struck the camp, a designated safe zone, on Sunday night, igniting a deadly fire that spread through the camp. Israel's military claims it struck a Hamas compound in the area, killing 2 senior Hamas officials, and that it was reviewing reports that civilians were harmed. Well, let's get more on this. We are joined by our correspondent, Jonathan Regev in Tel Aviv. Jonathan, welcome to Africa Live. Thank you for joining us. Jonathan, let's get straight to it. Israel has confirmed the incident. What has been their reaction then?
That is correct. Israel has confirmed that this incident took place. What Israeli officials are saying is that Egyptian soldiers opened fire towards Israeli forces which were operating on the Gazan side of the Rafah crossing, and in the exchange of fire that ensued, an Egyptian soldier was killed. This is what we're hearing from the Israeli side. We also know that high-level officials in Israel and in Egypt are discussing, trying to understand exactly what has happened here. We have to understand that the peace accord between Israel and Egypt is a strategic need for Israel, an important milestone that Israel wants to preserve. Yes, the relations are very tense, especially at this time with the operation ongoing in Gaza, but still this is something that is very important for Israel to preserve, and therefore high-ranking officials in Israel are discussing with their Egyptian counterparts what exactly happened there and trying to understand what exactly this incident was all about and trying to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Jonathan, you touched on it a little bit in your initial answer. Let's talk about this relationship. How will this particular incident affect relations between the two countries? How do you see it?
It can affect, although we have to understand that on the high levels, of course, if we speak of Prime Minister Netanyahu in Israel and President Sisi in Egypt, they both understand that these relations are a strategic need for both countries. For Israel, of course, Egypt being such a central player in the Arab world, and also on the Gazan doorstep. Of course, this is something that a relationship that is very important for Israel to preserve, and I think this is also the case for Egypt. Israel has assisted through the years a lot to the Egyptian side, fighting ISIS, for example, in the Sinai Peninsula, and therefore I think that for both countries it is very important to keep this relationship alive, and that is why it is so important for both countries to investigate what exactly happened there and making sure that incidents of this kind do not happen again. It was about a year ago when there was another incident in which an Egyptian soldier killed 3 Israeli soldiers on the Israeli side of the border, and again, through negotiations, both countries were able to solve this matter. That is what they want to do once again.